I'm Dr. Jen Escare, better known as DocJenFit, and today we are going to talk about hip popping. Hip popping, specifically when you're doing an exercise called the mountain climber or any kind of core exercises. This is really, really popular that a lot of people hear this pop or this crack as they're doing the mountain climber. Mountain climber, traditionally, just in case you need a little reminder, is this guy here. And a lot of people will do it and they're hearing noises in their hip and they're uncertain as to why that's even happening because there's no pain. Do I need to fix it? Is it a bad thing? Well, I want to talk about it today and also let you know that me and my fiance, Dr. Dom, who's also a doctor of physical therapy, we did a podcast together on this actually. So you can check out the Optimal Body podcast and go to where we talk about hip popping specifically and what it could mean in all areas of the body. But I want to show you how you can get rid of it with this particular exercise. So we're gonna grab an ottoman. This happens to be my ottoman at home. I don't have a regular looking one. So one that has a little bit more structure might actually be better, or you can grab a chair. You could do it at the edge of the couch. You can do this in so many other areas. But the number one thing that I wanna say is that it is important to modify first so that we can change what you're actually feeling. And so for the mountain climber or a push-up, the modification is not necessarily the knees, it's to elevate the surface. So this is where I'm going to elevate the surface. I'm going to place my hands up onto the ottoman. So first things first, when we're getting hip popping, it's usually that we have this unawareness of control between our core and our hips. So our hip flexor or the TFL, which is along the side, or any of the tendons that kind of attach up around this hip area, or even deeper, end up snapping over a bone. And that's where you hear that crack or that pop. And that doesn't mean that you're weak. It doesn't mean anything like that. It just means that your body, what it knows is to first flex at the hips rather than utilizing the base and the foundation of the core. Okay, again, not to say that the core is weak. You can have a six-pack, you can be very strong. It's just that coordination of what the mind knows. And the body is always going to take the place that it knows first rather than a different route. So we're going to teach it a different route here. So with my hands elevated here, I'm going to come into this plank position. First thing, you want to make sure that your shoulders are directly over your wrists, okay? So I'm going to place them out a little bit just because this is a little squishy, and if I have it forward, you can see how much extension I would need at my wrist. So I'm going to place my hands out to the side, but I want to make sure that I shift enough that my shoulders are directly over my wrist, okay? So I'm not back here because again, this is only going to be hip flexion, nothing in the core. So I shift forward, and now the next thing I want to do is really press my shoulder blades away from my spine, okay? If I'm lacking here in my shoulder stability, then I'm not going to have a lot of control through my core. It's going to be a lot harder to hold it in. What makes it easier is if I press my shoulder blades away from the spine and down into the floor. A good way to think about this also is that you're pushing away from the ground and your sternum is trying to get as far away from the ground as possible. Okay, so I'm going to press away. Now I want to do an exhale so that my rib cage comes up just a little bit. So I don't want my rib cage dropping out. I'm going to exhale. And see how that rib cage kind of naturally comes up. Now I'm in a much better position. I'm not rounding or doing anything crazy, but I'm pushed away and I'm exhaled so that my rib cage is up. Now I'm still gonna breathe, okay? Just because I exhale doesn't mean I don't breathe. It just gives me a new position to breathe from. Now the last thing is these hips, okay? I have my shoulder blades, I have my rib cage. Now I wanna tuck the tailbone under. When I tuck the tailbone under, now I have even more control in this anterior part of my core. And this is what I want to be my base before my hip flexors, before my quads or anything like that. I want it to come from my core first. So this is a great technique to be able to do that. So again, push, shoulder blades away, exhale, tuck the belly, and now from here, I run and I breathe. And you just keep moving in this position. What you're going to feel is so much more activation in the core, and you're going to feel a whole new exercise because you're not getting any popping. Your shoulders are going to get strong, your core is going to get strong, and it's going to actually be effective when you're doing a mountain climber now. Thanks for watching. I hope you try it out. Again, if you want to progress it, take away the ottoman and go all the way down to the floor and try it out there. But make sure that you're listening to your body, you're listening to your cues, and you're really seeing when you gain more awareness what is possible within your body. So make sure you subscribe so that I continue to show you what's possible within your body. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you're enjoying it. Don't forget to like and comment below to let me know what you think, and subscribe so you don't miss any in the future.